After undergoing a major surgery, I returned home after a month and was met with a shocking sight. Is this a joke? What is all this mess? The floor was scattered with clothes and trash, and the kitchen had half-eaten containers and cups with soup still inside. Stunned by the sight, I stood frozen, and my husband spoke assertively. I don't care how you do it, just get it cleaned up. Huh? Me? Obviously, you're my wife, so clean it up. You've been neglecting housework for a month, so do something for once. Neglecting? I was just hospitalized. Tonight, I'm having a party to celebrate the success of a meeting. Get drinks and snacks ready. After saying that, my husband locked himself in his room and started playing his favorite game. Even though anger welled up inside me, I felt uncomfortable in such a messy room, especially after being discharged from the hospital. I started cleaning as instructed and began preparing the food. Then the doorbell rang. Yes, huh? When I opened the door, there stood someone surprising. My name is Ashley Kane. I'm 29 years old. I studied childhood education in college and now work as a child care worker. I have always loved children and taken care of my relatives' children since I was very young. During my junior high school work experience at a nursery, I became convinced that this is what I wanted to do. Since then, I've made various efforts to pursue my dream of becoming a child care worker. After going through the selection process, I successfully landed a job at my top choice nursery. The director and my colleagues are all very wonderful people and the work environment is great. When I got married 2 years ago, they even held a celebration party for me at the nursery. Generally, the field of childcare is known for its strict hierarchy and rumors of marriages based on my position or status at work. So I was honestly worried, but this workplace turned out to be very welcoming and cozy. I want to continue to do this work. I felt that way from the bottom of my heart. However, there are people who don't like or enjoy their work. And that person was my husband, Tyler. I met Tyler about 3 years ago. I met him at a mixer and I was invited by a friend. Tyler was very kind to me, and I did not have much romantic experience at the time. He would quickly get me a drink when mine was empty and find common topics to discuss, making our conversations lively and enjoyable. Being treated so kindly by the opposite sex was a first for me. We exchanged contact information and eventually started meeting up as two. Drawn to his kindness and assertive nature, I quickly developed feelings for Tyler. After a year of dating, he proposed to me. I had no reason to refuse, so I accepted the marriage proposal without hesitation. The first year or so of our marriage was peaceful and happy. However, around the second year, things started to change. His attitude towards me gradually shifted. The first red flag was his increased aggression towards me. We both worked, so we had to share the household chores. I took care of the cooking and laundry while he handled the cleaning. But gradually he stopped fulfilling his part. Hey, Tyler, you didn't clean during the last week's day off, did you? There's quite a bit of dust piling up. While folding the laundry, I casually mentioned this. Then he glared at me and suddenly raised his voice. I'm tired from work, so why do you say such offensive things? Can't you be a bit more considerate? Huh? But both of us work on weekdays, right? We're a working couple. Let's share the housework. No. Don't compare me to you, Ashley. Who just plays with kids at work? I'm dealing with stress and working hard every day under my boss's demands. Just playing with kids? Do you even know what it's like to be a child care worker? We have the responsibility of caring for other people's lives. It's a job with responsibility, you know. Well, it's all about how you put it. Because you're just playing around at your job. Your salary must be low, right? It's thanks for me for having a proper job. We can afford our current lifestyle, you know. That's terrible. You can't talk to me like that. Saying that, I bit my lip tightly. As my husband said, it's true being a childcare worker doesn't pay much. It's clear he earns more. However, I don't want the value of my job to be determined solely by my salary. I take pride in being a childcare worker and in this job. However, If I were to clearly express that, I'd probably be ridiculed to the end. I could see that coming, so I decided to stop saying anything further. After that day, my relationship with my husband gradually deteriorated. Before I knew it, I was always being looked down upon by him. We used to go out together on weekends, but that doesn't even happen anymore. Casual conversations between us as a couple decreased, and being in the same space with him was so painful. The once happy married life had gradually turned into something suffocating. One day while at work at the nursery, I ended up accompanying a colleague on a class walk. However, during our outing, a car with a driver that was dozing off crashed into the guardrail and plowed through our walking group. Instinctively, my body moved forward, shielding from the children from harm. After experiencing such an intense impact and feeling immense pain, I lost consciousness. How long had I been asleep? As I woke up, I realized I was in the hospital. "Oh, you regained consciousness." The nurse greeted me cheerfully. Why am I here?" The nurse noticed that I had woken up and explained what had happened. At the time, I instinctively protected the children, and the oncoming car directly hit me, causing fractures in my left arm and left leg. The impact from the collision with the car caused serious internal injuries, leading to a major surgery. However, it seems that besides me, no one else suffered serious injuries. It seems that there were a few children with minor scratches, but none of them required hospitalization. Afterward, I heard that a large number of thank you letters arrived at the hospital. I never imagined I would go through such an experience. On the other hand, the fact that I was able to protect the precious children makes me truly proud. When I checked my smartphone, I found a large number of messages and missed calls from my colleagues expressing their concern. However, there was not a single message from my husband. At a time like this, shouldn't you contact the family?" When I asked the nurse, she looked puzzled and responded with a sudden surprise. "Huh? I believe your husband has been notified. Indeed, he hasn't come to the hospital yet, though." "Does that mean you couldn't reach him?" "No, I believe the message was delivered. I haven't heard anything about not being able to get through." "I see. If communication was made, then why would he not come by? Even if he was at work, he should have at least been able to make one call. Could there have been a misunderstanding? Normally, if your family had been in an accident, wouldn't you be worried and at least make one call? Maybe my husband didn't know about my condition. Since I was in a private room, I immediately called my husband. It was already past 6 p.m., and he should be done with work by now. Despite the pain from my injuries, I could hear the ringing from my phone. After a few seconds, my husband answered with a curt, "What?" And I promptly began to explain the situation. Tyler, it's me. Where are you right now?" "Where am I? I'm done with work and I'm on my way home." "I see. Listen, I'm currently at the hospital. Did you get any messages from me?" "Oh, yeah, I got a call from the hospital around noon. You had an accident, right?" "Huh? You knew?" "Yeah, they called me, but they said it wasn't life-threatening and that you were going to have surgery, so I figured it's not a big deal." "Well, why do you say it like that?" I want to blame my husband, but the words got stuck in my throat, but I can't say anything more. Before I knew it, tears were streaming down my face. Why? Why is he acting like it's someone else's problem? Even though it's his own wife, who just had an accident, why is he nonchalant about it? As I fell silent, my husband let out a small sigh, and his tone became clearly annoyed. "Huh? Wait, let me get this straight. Did you contact me to let me know you're in the hospital? Seriously, you're such an attention seeker. That was not my intention. I was just worried if you knew about the accident." "I told you I got the message, didn't I? I heard you had fractures and would be hospitalized for a while, so since you're already at the hospital, there's no need for me to come, right?" "Wait, you won't want to come see me?" "I'm busy too, you know. Besides, we're talking on the phone right now, so it can't be that serious. You're just being overdramatic. Is that all? I'm tired." "Hey, wait, Tyler, hold on a sec." As I called out my husband's name, the call ended abruptly. Only the sound of my phone ringing echoed, and at this point my tears had already stopped. All that remained within me was a sense of resignation. Any anger towards my husband had vanished completely. My family was far away, and there was no way for them to bring me my belongings, so I had to buy everything I needed at the hospital store. During my hospital stay, my husband never visited me even once. And now it's the day of my discharge. I couldn't carry all the belongings I had bought from the store alone, so I decided to take a taxi back home. I had informed my husband about my discharge date, but of course there was no response. It's Saturday today, so my husband should be off work at home. Feeling heavy-hearted, I arrived at the door and inserted my key into the door. "I'm back," I called out to him, but he didn't respond at all. With my belongings still in hand, I walked through the hallway and headed to the living room. As I opened the living room door, I was met by a sight that made me widen my eyes in disbelief. This can't be true. What is all of this? The floor was scattered with clothes and trash, and the kitchen had half-eaten containers and cups with soup still inside. In shock, I stood frozen, and my husband had emerged from his room. As soon as he saw me, he smirked as if he was mocking me. "Oh, you finally came back. How was your 1-month vacation at the hospital?" "What are you talking about? Do you really understand what I went through?" "You had an accident during a walk, right? Wow, Ashley, you're so unlucky." "It's not about luck or anything like that. You could at least say a word of concern." Okay, I got it. You're safe, right? That's good enough." After showing dismissive reactions, my husband deeply sank into the sofa and pointed at me, saying, "Anyway, enough already. Just finish cleaning up quickly." "Huh? Me? Of course, you're my wife, right? You've been slacking off on the household chores for a whole month now, so do something for once." "Slacking off? I was in the hospital." "Whatever, it doesn't matter. Tonight, I'm having a celebratory party. Get some drinks and snacks ready." "A celebratory party?" As I stood up in the daze, my husband explained, "I'm inviting people over to make sure we do it properly," and he locked himself in his room to play games. Even though anger welled up inside of me, being in such a messy room made me feel uncomfortable, as I had just been discharged from the hospital. I cleaned and tidied up the entire room as instructed. Despite the lingering pain all over my body, I managed to put up the chaotic room back in order. Since my husband mentioned inviting people, there must be someone coming over tonight. I have no idea who it could be, but if I do as I told, he'll probably get angry. And that would be undoubtedly led to more trouble later on. To prevent that from happening, I have a choice but to endure it here. I swallowed my anger and headed out for some shopping today, suppressing the pain with my body. After returning home, I continued with the preparations and cooking. Since I don't know who's coming over or how many people, I have to prepare it for a considerable amount. After finishing the plating and arranging the glasses and small plates for alcohol, the intercom rang. "Hey, could you come out right now for a moment? I can't use my hands right now." I called out to my husband, who was in the room, but there was no answer. With a sigh, I hurried towards the entrance with the door with my arm, which didn't move smoothly. "Yes, huh?" As I opened the door, there stood Tyler's parents. "Dad, Mom, it's been a while. Please come in. I'll get the slippers for you." With my arm still wrapped up in bandages, I fetched the slippers and invited them inside. On the other hand, they looked at me with surprised expressions. Is something the matter?" As inquired, Tyler's parents seemed to be taken aback for a moment, then exchanged solemn glances. Eventually, Tyler's father spoke. "Ashley, what happened to your arm and leg?" "Oh, these. I had an accident at work about a month ago. I've been hospitalized for the past month, and finally my discharge day was today." "What? Discharge today? And yet you invited us?" "No, it wasn't me who invited you. It was Tyler. I was discharged today, so that was the first time I heard about it." "Huh?" "Tyler told me to get ready for the celebration of my recovery, so I've been preparing everything all by myself until now." "You did that all by yourself in your condition? How's Tyler doing right now?" "Oh, he's in his room playing games." As soon as I saw the anger-filled expressions on my in-laws' faces, I understood everything. My husband truly hadn't cared about me at all. Today, once again, he invited people over just to show his power to make me do all of the household chores and returning from the hospital. Unbelievable, just because I was in the hospital. How far does that have to go to mock and belittle me? I can't bear this anymore. My clenched fist tightened with strength and my body trembled with anger. However, it seemed like my in-laws were even more furious than me. When they entered the house, they went straight towards my husband's room and forcefully opened the door. "Oh, Mom, Dad, you're here. Let's start the party right away then." "A party?" With an angry expression, my father-in-law approached my husband and grabbed him by the collar. "What are you doing? How can you put Ashley, who just got out of the hospital after an accident, through all of this trouble?" "Huh? Why are you so angry? It wasn't a big deal. She's been neglecting household chores for a month, you know. It's only natural for her to make her do the housework." "Stop fooling around. It's a 1-month hospital stay, you know. There's no way it's not a big deal, you idiot son. Do you even realize how despicable you've been? A loser like you. I won't acknowledge you as my son anymore. Don't you dare come back home ever again." Wait a minute. Why would you do that?" "Hey, Ashley, you agreed to this too, right? Then tell them for me." With a strained expression, my husband sought a help from me. From that statement, I don't even think he realized how much I had suffered. Thinking that, everything suddenly feels so absurd. "Hey, please!" I forcefully brushed off my husband's hand and placed it on my shoulder. With a determined look, I confronted him head-on. "Enough already. How much longer are you going to ignore my feelings? For this past year, you've put me through so much pain. Even hearing about the accident, it didn't even bother you to even contact me. Continuing to be a family with someone like you is just impossible." Wait, hold on. Even you, Ashley? Are you kidding me? I wouldn't say something in this jest, would I? My love for you has completely faded. Your words just confirmed it. Being with you any longer won't lead to happiness. Now, divorce me and never interfere with my life again. Towards the end, my voice trembled and I ended up shouting. However, it seemed my words had a significant impact on my husband as he slumped down right there. As tears streamed down my face, my in-laws embraced me gently. Later on, I divorced my husband with my in-laws present as witnesses. My in-laws apologized to me multiple times, but I understood that our marital issues were not their fault. In fact, I was genuinely happy they scolded Tyler out of concern for me. Feeling responsible for causing emotional distress, Tyler offered, "At least let me pay you for some compensation." Though I hesitated a bit, I decided to accept it since it was a thoughtful gesture. Although we ended up divorcing, the fact remains that thanks to him, I met wonderful in-laws. It wasn't all painful memories. I realized that after the divorce. With this experience as my nourishment, I believe I can grow as a person. From now on, I want to prioritize my own happiness and strive to enrich both my work and personal life.